I'm now joined for reaction by Thabang Kheswa, the Free State Manager for the South African Human Rights Commission. A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika. I mean, it's a video that has continued to really shock the nation. What did you make of it when you first saw it?
Thank you very much. It's indeed a very, very disappointing act or incident that we've picked up or that we've observed here of white old men are taking young men or young black men. As the South African Human Rights Commission, we condemn this act in strongest terms. We are hopeful that since there's assault involved, the law will take course, and law enforcement agencies we will speed up the process of investigations to attend to the criminal part of that incident. But the Human Rights Commission's point of view is to look at whether there are or there is some kind of discrimination on the based on racial lines. So we're going to have to look at that and investigate and check as to how can we take it forward. So we want to first to investigate, and then we can decide on the way forward. But in short, South African Human Rights Commission, we are shocked by that incident. So many years after democracy, it's really shocking, and actually, quite frankly, it's a disgusting video.
What questions will you be asking as you try to get to whether or not there is discrimination based on racial lines? I mean, having looked at the video, what is it that you will be looking at to get an outcome?
Firstly, we have to engage all the parties involved, including the management of that facility, to get to understand. It may also require us to visit the area and actually see this pool as to what kind of setup or arrangement is there. So our investigation will entail engaging all the parties, and following which we will decide which or in what way will we try and find redress. So our steps or our way of handling this matter will be determined by all those issues.
Ahead of your investigation going ahead, what stands out for you as you assess the video and you also get some sort of reaction from social media and the nation?
It's the outcry that is there. We are seeing people quite angry at this incident, and that is why we have to do our best to ensure that justice is done, and ensure that those victims feel sense that their human dignity would have been restored.
According to police, the men face charges of attempted murder and assault. And we also heard President Cyril Ramaphosa responding and reacting to this incident, saying that racism has no place in South Africa and racists must expect harsh consequences. When it comes to the consequences that could lie ahead, how harsh do you think they could be?
Matters of equality, as South African Human Rights Commission, we deal with them in different ways. We can either, following our investigations or as part of investigations, have the parties come together in a sort of an alternative dispute resolution setup, or we can take such matters to the equality courts. So, like I said earlier, steps, way forward will be determined by what we find on the ground as we engage parties, as we engage perpetrators and victims and management of the facility. We will then determine a way forward as to how are we going to see that there is redress. What method as the Human Rights Commission as we have powers from the Constitution and our Enabling Act, what method are we going to utilize to get redress on this matter?
The Constitution says South Africa belongs to all who live in it, and a lot of debate has come about, as this is triggering a lot of emotions again because of the many incidents of alleged racism that have been seen throughout the course of this year and, of course, the many years thereafter or before that. What is your take on whose role it is to fight racism and highlight the concerns around it and the disturbance around it?
I think we need to talk more. I think we need to dialogue more and talk about our differences. Talk about what our similarities. Understand each other. Because, like I said, so many years into democracy, there seems to be people who still feel that sense of privilege, not recognizing the fact that we are now in a democratic country. We are all equal before the law. We are, a rainbow nation where we say South Africa belongs to all of us. We can't go back to where we were so many years of apartheid, where there was enjoyment of certain privileges just because you're white. We need to find each other. South African Human Rights Commission is a project that seeks to promote national cohesion, and so as we talk about our differences, we are a very divided country, and if we don't dialogue and talk about all these things, we are going to continue being divided more. And I think it's time that we start talking about these issues and make people understand that we all have rights. The Constitution, gives rights to everyone, and everyone should be treated with respect and human dignity. So, when you see that video, you see people who still want to enjoy that sense of privilege, of wanting to say certain things, even when they are in a public place like that, they would want to feel that they are entitled to certain things in that area, and that can be.
The sense of entitlement is even more disturbing because a lot of the people in that video are young people. That in itself brings about many questions about the future of the country and the young people within it.
Certainly. It's painful because it involves young people. But I think the young people, if you check that video, the bravery of this young man shows that they now want to get into that space where we want to also be part of or live on the understanding that these facilities or facility like this one belongs to all of us, and no one should claim that certain spaces are theirs. So it affects youth, and our youth will learn to stand up for themselves. When they are faced with this kind of situations, they must confront such situations and ensure that they claim their rightful place in many of these places.
Very well. Thank you so much. Thanks for weighing in. Thabang Kheswa, the South African Human Rights Commission's Free State Manager, speaking to the swimming pool alleged racist incident that we saw in Bloemfontein.